Hi everyone, this is your instructor Joy. Thank you for watching, thank you for tuning, and nice comments, questions, donations and booking lessons with me. I really appreciate that. So today we are going to work on this Gavotte by Rameau from the Suzuki book 6. I just played a little beginning of each Gavotte. That has a Gavotte 1 and Gavotte 2. Rameau was one of the most important composers in musical history. He was the one who established a lot of harmonies and the structure of harmonies. Also, he's one of those very important Baroque composer. So keep that in mind. And I know the Suzuki book suggests certain bow wings and certain fingerings, but I always encourage all my students, and also you, try yourself. The fingerings and bow wings are not a must. Whatever it works for you, whatever it goes well with your ideas, that should be it. Yeah. For example, the beginning, it's the Suzuki book suggests two kind of fingerings. One in the first position, or next one, or is this in the third position. But I picked the first position because it's got this bright sound going on. Yeah, I imagine this chord a little, you know, those middle-aged, or it's a kind of percussionist, or this harpsichord drum, or like harp kind of sound. So I want to give a little like grand entrance by just keeping the bright sound, like over, yeah, it's a little mumbling, so I prefer the first position. And also, Suzuki book suggests that being played by slur, but I just broke a separate string for the same reason. I want the beginning be a little more significant, a little more presence, almost like a little percussion plus harpsichord kind of sound, like drum, like this. And keep in mind, and Gavotte it's a dense form, so it's like, you know, the first step. I want to create that one, so it would be. But then the next one, it suggests dolce, and I took that one. I made it dolce. Dolce means loving and sweet sound, so I simply tilt the bow and then bring the bow a little closer to the fingerboard to create that kind of sweet sound. Yeah. So, and then instead of staying, so Suzuki book suggests like from here, third position. I don't like it vibrating with a fourth finger. I find it a little shaky, not as subtle. So even though I'm risking going to difficult position, but I prefer to choose that by going to the fourth position. Now here, second finger, so I would be in the fourth position, second finger on D string. That secures my third finger vibrato on A string. Yeah, like that. Then the Gavotte 2 happens a lot of upper spiccato. So here I like to keep the same way, but because this bow technique is difficult, some violinists tend to take longer than it is. Certain pieces we're allowed to take a little time on pushing and pulling with the tempo, but when it comes to dance tunes such as Gavotte, minuet, chaconne, and so on, we're somewhat limited because whether it really meant for dancing per se or taking the dance rhythm, taking from the dance rhythm idea, but we want to still keep the mood of kind of flowing so that it sounds like a dancing. So keep that in mind, no rushing, no slow hesitating too much, but within those structures you can still make it interesting. I start a little louder, and then I take it a little back, a little softer, like echo. So the way I do that is when I do spiccato, louder one, I use a little more closer to the frog and the longer bow. When I do softer spiccato, I go a little in the middle, and I tilt the bow even more, which creates softer sound and less springing. Now here. Now I go back here because I want to do either crescendo or diminuendo, whichever is interesting. So let's try to crescendo. Something like that, yeah? So when it comes to spiccato technique, you have probably noticed sometimes the bow springs on its own. We're playing with that physics. So, most of the time when the bow springs is because your elbow is overly low. So the bow doesn't get any support, therefore it's left on its own and then springs. So we're playing that when your elbow gets a little lower, your right arm gets a little lower than usual. The movement, the very first movement of spiccato gets initiated from your finger joint, but don't stay curved like that. You have to just initiate the movement and then gets back. And then once you do that, relax. Don't stay overly tense, curved. Even though curving fingers are important, the movement is like this. Yeah? So now you want to practice. Don't stay curved, like right. You might want to practice your open string. Yeah. So if your bow is too flat, then it springs too much. So you might want to tilt a bit, and so that you can keep it close. So you have to do multiple upward spiccato. So. On and on like that. Make sure when we do spiccato, it has to sound equally important and equally beautiful, just like any other legato bow stroke. Yeah. I hope this video was helpful. Thank you for watching. I hope to see you again. Please remember to subscribe and share my videos. Bye bye.